I sat silently in my room in Harare, watching the sunlight creep in through the cracked curtains. My phone was off. I didn't want to talk to anyone anymore. Life had become heavy, unbearable, and hopeless. I had sent out over 100 applications for jobs abroad, but all I received were rejections or silence. Every email notification made my heart race, hoping it was good news. And every time I cried more than I smiled those days. The burden at home was overwhelming. My siblings looked up to me. My mother's health was deteriorating. Our rent was overdue. We barely had enough for food. I used to be the strong one, the one who encouraged everyone else. But now, even getting out of bed was a struggle. Depression clung to me like a second skin. One day, I came across a Facebook post from someone who had made it to the UK as a caregiver. They spoke of the caregiver visa and COS certificate of sponsorship as if it was a golden ticket out of the suffering. Something inside me lit up. It sounded like hope, real hope. I had worked as a support worker for years. I had cared for the elderly, disabled, and terminally ill in South Africa. I knew what it meant to sacrifice sleep, personal time, and even dignity. I knew I could do this. I borrowed money to enroll in a caregiving course, even though I already had experience. I needed that UK recognized certificate. I spent long nights studying and days sending applications, each one tailored and desperate. I faced scam agencies, fake job offers, and people who promised help only to disappear with money. At one point, I had only $12.00 left. I hadn't eaten in 2 days. I stood in a queue at a local church for food parcels, avoiding eye contact, ashamed to be seen. Then one day I received an email from a real UK employer, a small care home in the north of England. They had seen my application and wanted to interview me. I prepared obsessively, rehearsing my answers, praying between each sentence. The interview was kind and simple, and within a week, I received the email, "We are happy to offer you the position. We will issue your certificate of sponsorship." I screamed, I cried, I fell to my knees. My mother thought something was wrong and came running into the room, but when I told her, she cried too. For the first time in years, we both cried tears of joy. But the journey was just beginning. I had to do my TB test, police clearance, visa application, book flights, all requiring money I didn't have. I sold my phone, my small fridge, even my bed. I slept on a mat for weeks. Friends helped with small amounts. A stranger from a WhatsApp group paid for my visa. I will never forget her kindness. She said, "One day, help someone else the way I helped you." The day I received my UK visa, I looked at the stamp as if it were a passport to another universe. It had taken me years, tears, and humiliation to reach that point. I packed a small bag with secondhand clothes, my documents, and a photo of my mother. I hugged her tightly at the airport. She whispered, "Don't forget where you come from." I promised I wouldn't. The flight was cold and long. I didn't sleep. I kept replaying everything in my head, the hunger, the sacrifices, the prayers. When I landed at Heathrow, I had only 15 pounds sterling, 0 pence, in my pocket. A driver from the care home picked me up, smiling and holding a board with my name. I cried again. Life in the UK was not easy. The cold cut through my bones. The accent was hard to understand. The food was strange, but the work I knew. I cleaned, bathed, lifted, comforted, and stayed awake through 12-hour night shifts. My back ached, my feet swelled. But every time I sent money home, I remembered why I was doing it. I faced racism. I was called names. Some patients refused to be touched by a black person. I cried in staff toilets, wiped my tears, and kept working. Some days I felt invisible. Other days, a patient would smile and say, "Thank you, you're so kind." And that would make everything worth it. Winter was the hardest. I had no proper coat. I walked to work in freezing rain, shivering and soaked. My fingers went numb, but I kept going. I told myself this pain was temporary. I remembered the mat I used to sleep on and the hunger that kept me awake in her. One night, a patient I cared for daily passed away. I had fed her, changed her, read her Bible verses. I sat by her bed as she took her last breath. She squeezed my hand and whispered, "Thank you, dear." I cried for hours that night, not just for her, but for all the pain I had carried to get there. Now, months later, I have a warm room, a payslip, and a visa that allows me to work. I help my family every month. I've paid off debts. I sleep on a real bed. I walk with confidence. I have survived. This journey broke me in places I didn't know could break, but it also built a stronger, kinder, wiser version of myself. When I look in the mirror, I see a caregiver, a fighter, a survivor. To anyone still applying, still hoping, still praying, don't give up. The road is long and cruel, but the destination is real. I am living proof